So here we have our summary for sketchnoting. We've been working on drawing practice and figuring out how we want to do our containers and our emotions. And I thought as we summarize the benefits of sketchnoting that I could also emphasize for you the benefits of using numbers or really any Apple program as long as you have that whiteboard space like Numbers has. So if I zoom in on some of the items I have here, I thought it would be nice to show you how they were made. So even with the title, so if we zoom in here, using 2 fingers to zoom, all I did was get a piece of text and basically trace over it. So I even have it animated so that you can see that. So if I just trace over it, and then I use that shape fill tool we've been using to now have 2 words, so I can separate these two from it. So it's a nice way to kind of get that guide for if you're like me, my handwriting's just only so, especially when you're presenting information with it. So how I did that very easily is, as always, going to our plus sign, and I'm going to choose text, and it comes in super tiny, but it's already highlighted in blue, so I can just go to my paintbrush and I can format that. So if I want to go specifically to the text here in the middle, I can choose the paragraph style, and then sometimes that's nice. If I change it to title, it gets bigger, as you can see. And sometimes that's not big enough, so I can also increase the size here, and it'll just grow. I can change the color of it, and you get the idea. But I can just then go into our drawing tools like we've been doing, and I can trace over it. Once I do that, of course this isn't one you want to trace with, but you get the idea. Once I trace over it, it becomes that object. And then I click done. So hopefully that'll help you make a nice looking title. And we can just get rid of this too. So what else do we have? If we go to the far left here, we've talked about how sketchnoting is definitely good for the brain. Notice I can use the objects and shapes in numbers, so I don't have to write out the word brain or much less try to draw one. So if I go here to my plus sign, and instead of going to that media file that we've been going into shapes, I see basic shapes here, not a brain right off the hand, but there's this handy dandy search tool where I can just start typing in brain. And I get 3 options there that I can use. If I choose this first one, it comes in usually a large size, and I can go to my paintbrush and format it. I'm not formatting text, but I would go to style for this and just pick a color, red. And as you can see too, I can just shrink it down. So you have so many options as far as pictures to choose from with numbers. You can also use those basic shapes like I've done here. Same way, plus sign, cancel out our search, and those shapes are right there. And if I want to stack them on top of each other like I've done here, because I kind of like that effect, it's very easy to do. If I pull this one out, let's say I want to put this one on top of the circle, or maybe even behind the circle, how is that going to work? So I go to the format button or paintbrush, and they have an option called arrange. And when I do that, I have a slider here where I can move that image to front or back. So I'm going to slide it, but you watch the black triangle. Boop, there it is. So now it's behind my circle. So you can just play around with that. That's a great tool too. I also used the shape tool to insert a paint bucket, and I just used my drawing tools to write over that, so that's fairly easy. For this, for the picture, I was able to just simply go to the plus, take a shape. Notice the shape closely. It's got those blue dots which allow you to resize, but notice the green dot right here. If I hold on to that, I can change my shape by rounding it a little bit. So that's a cool option that you have available. So my shape is now filled with black, but I want it filled with a picture. So I go to the format tool, right here, and style. And here's where my shape is filled with black. I'm going to move it over so you can see a little bit better too. Here we go. So it's filled with black right now, but if I click on that, and I've got colors and I can move to different colors, but at the end here, you've got image. And I can change my image. And it says, do you want to choose a photo or take a picture right now on the spot or insert a file? So let's just, I'm not going to take a picture for you right now because I've already done one for you and it might come out funky on the video, but you do have that option there where you can easily change. Maybe if I choose a photo, that might be easier. Yep, there it is. So there's my picture. And I can make it bigger or smaller or whatever. So that's a nice feature too. Delete that. Some couple of other great tools is this audio, insert audio button. I can go to the top up here and insert media. And right here you will see record audio. So down here, I'm able to see when I record, testing 1, 2, 3, I can stop. I can edit it, preview it, and insert it if I like it. So we'll insert, boom, there it is, and it'll play. So students can narrate their work, and if they're like me and they have a hard time drawing, sometimes it's helpful to be able to say, well, what I meant to draw was, and explain your thought processes behind it, or add more to it with your narration. Lots of options there. And last but not least, here on the right, you can insert charts and graphs. After all, Numbers is a spreadsheet app, and you do that by going to the plus sign, choosing either one of these two. Let's go with the first one. They're already color-coded, but I can swipe, and you can tell because there's dots here showing more. Or I can go to the top and choose either from 2D, 3D, or even interactive just by selecting it. Once I select it, you'll see it over here. You can tap and add the data right from it. So there's so many options you can use when you use Numbers. Not only is this huge whiteboard, but look at all the different media options you have. And for somebody who can't draw, this isn't bad. And your students will be very proud of it as well. So I hope you enjoy Numbers and sketchnoting.